Hello and welcome to the 28th tutorial on the C++ programming series, and in this part we're going to be looking at the switch statement. Switch statements are essentially a simplified if-else statement, and they allow you to check if a variable has a certain value. You can only use integrals or enumeration. Basically you can only use integers or chars. You can't use strings. Technically that's a user-defined name, a user-defined type, even though it belongs to standard namespace. It's not part of the, it's not an integral, or it's not an enumeration. I think I might have pronounced integral wrong. I think it's integral. Either way, yeah. So you can only use int and chars, and like I said, it's a very simple if statement. It doesn't allow you to do really a condition. The only condition that it does itself is it allows you to specify a variable, and then you can check if that variable equals another value. That's what you can't say if it's greater than, or if this is greater than this, and this is equal to this, or this, or this. Like I say, it's a very simple if statement, and there are certain instances where you just want something like a switch statement. So let's just show you how to use a switch statement. It's very extendable as well, very easily to add new conditions. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable. I'm going to call it superhero. We're going to assign the value 1 to it. What we're going to do is switch, and this is the syntax of a switch statement. You have your expression, which is basically the variable that you want to check. I'm going to put superhero. Then the constant is basically the comparison, so does superhero equal 0? And then statements is whatever you want to do once this has occurred. You could have another switch statement in here, you could have an if, you could have a for loop, you can have pretty much any sort of code you want. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do std cout Batman, std and line, and the default statement is basically the else, the equivalent. If none of the cases are true, it will fall back to this, and in here we're just going to put std cout not a valid superhero and line semicolon, and if we run it, I've just got to open up the debug area. This is not a valid superhero because it checks, does superhero equal 0? No. And as there's no other checks, it just defaults to this statement. So what we can do is add another case. So case is literally to add a case. You do case, then the value, so put 1, colon, and then you put whatever statement you want to do. Let me just show you something. Actually, let me show you this work, and then I'll show you what the purpose of the break statement. I think that will bring this tutorial to an end. Put Yoda here. May argue he's not a superhero, he has superpowers, so guess he's a superhero. Run this, and you get Yoda. So what we're going to do is, forgot to put in the break statement, and that's a good way to illustrate what the break statement does. The break statement prevents the code from going to the next case or to the default case, and if you don't have a break statement, it doesn't do the check. It's essentially as if this wasn't there, or as if this wasn't there and both of these lines were in the case. You might think, oh, that's sort of a fault. No, it isn't, because sometimes you may just want to group a bunch of conditions together. So what you may do is this. Let me show you. Put a break here. And you might just do case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, and all these cases we want to do the same functionality. I'm just going to print out multi-case. Need to put quotation marks, std and line, run it. Need to change this, so if we just do 2, it puts multi. Forgot to put a break statement there. And if we run it, it says multi-case. It comes down here, does superhero equal 0? No. Does superhero equal 1? No. Does superhero equal 2? Yes. No break statement, then it switches to this one. There's no code here, but there's no break statement either. Same for 4, and then it goes to here, prints this out, then it hits the break, and then it exits out to the switch statement. That is it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to message us at support@sonosystems.co.uk. The email will be in the description. You can comment on this video or just directly message us via YouTube, whatever you feel comfortable with. All the required links for source code will also be in the description. In the next part of this series, we're going to be looking at functions. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.